Morning, everybody. My name is Ian Magley, and I am from East Main Digital Marketing, and we are here for this week's Business Spotlight. We are at La Rosa Chicken and Grill with Vincenzo Puglisi, the founder and CEO. Good morning, Vincenzo. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing very well.
Good,
Thank
good.
you. Happy to be here.
Excellent. So we're at one of his restaurants, and La Rosa Chicken and Grill is actually one of the top and the fastest growing food franchises in all of New York and New Jersey, and actually starting to expand well beyond that as well. I've had the wonderful opportunity to work with Vincenzo and his team over the last few months to be able to kind of see and help with the growth of this brand. And it's been incredible to see the commitment to success, the commitment to the franchisees, the commitment to the brand, the food, and of course the customers as well. So it's a great opportunity to sit with Vincenzo and be able to really go through it, get an understanding of how he got into it, where it's going, the concept in general. So we're going to kind of go through everything today and just kind of ask some questions and see how it
sounds great, and it's been a pleasure working with you as well, Ian, so thank you.
Excellent, absolutely. So as anybody who's watched these before knows, it's an interview style. We're gonna ask you some questions, but anything you want to expand on it, of course, to really get that brand out there, get the understanding of where you guys are going, feel free. Excellent. So we're just going to get started. So why don't you, the story is always the most important part, right? So the background, why you got into this, why anybody should care. So why don't we start with that? How did you get into the restaurant industry? How did the La Rosa brand start?
Well, before I get to the La Rosa brand, let me tell you where it all began. It began when I was young. My father was in the industry and he breeded me to be a restaurateur. Unknown to me. It happened all by itself. Right. So as a child, you're intrigued with things, and I was always in the back, in the kitchen, and right. Up in the front. He'd always push me up to the front because that's where the action set. That's where you really need to learn the business, in the front with the customer. So I learned a lot. And I didn't even realize how much I was absorbing at the time. So that being said, he was more in the quick service, fast food industry. Right. He had pizzerias. Okay. And some of the pizzerias he also had multiple units, so he was also involved in having some restaurant pizzeria outside of the malls, because a lot of the places he opened up were malls. Yeah. So that being said, I learned the fast food industry. I learned also restaurant industry. And as I grew up, and as far as his company is concerned, or what he created, he did very well. And I was brought up in an idea where it wasn't just a mom and pop operation. It was a chain of stores that he was able to accomplish. Unfortunately, I lost my father at a very young age. I was 13 when I lost my father. So all the knowledge and everything that I learned, and I realized as I got older, the company that my father was part of really wasn't a place for me. So at the age of 18, I decided to go on my own and find a new concept, something that I can grow with, something I can create a company out of. I wasn't in it just to open up that one location and make a livelihood. I wanted to see a vision come to life. So that being said, I started to research. I started to look around. I worked for a couple of years in a high-end restaurant. And in that meanwhile, I was just really staying open to anything. I had saved up some money. I had some money on the side, so I was just waiting for my opportunity. And I realized that I wanted to get into a casual kind of a dining, not fast food, not restaurant, but more of a quality, quick served food. I didn't know back then, Ian, that it would become one of the biggest sectors in the restaurant industry called QSR, which is quick service restaurants. I was on that pattern. I was in that, going towards that, unknowing that it was going to be something that not only what I'm doing, but other chains are really becoming the best way to expand in the restaurant industry because of the lifestyles of people. Everybody's on the run today. Everybody can work from anywhere but an office on their mobiles, whatever. So you're always on the road and you're looking for something to eat that is quick, but it's good. Right. So I came up with an idea that I wanted to get into chicken. I saw some chicken concepts and I took it a step further from there. Perfect. I started to create a grilled and roasted chicken menu, along with salads and wraps and sides to, complement whatever I was making off the grill or off the rotisserie. And I wanted everything to be of high quality. I wanted everything to be cooked to order. And basically, this is how La Rosa brand or La Rosa
Sure.
came to life.
Excellent.
So I remember I was 21 when I opened up. That was 1994. That was almost 24 years ago. In the very location that we're sitting in here today, this really started everything.
Great.
And it's amazing to see that after 24 years, 90% of it is still set in the way I designed it when I opened. And it's only getting stronger.
Sure.
Of course, we've enhanced things, and I've made things better, and I made the system better. But the core of the business is here, and it's here to stay.
Right.
It's something that has tested in the long run. It's something that has proven the point of time.
Sure.
So I'm excited about it because the further we're going, and I see the trends are really picking up what La Rosa represents.
Absolutely.
Healthy eating, something that's cooked fresh, something that is priced fairly,
Sure.
something that you can come in and out, pick up, have delivered. We offer all those services. So there's not a lot of brands that do that. And at the same time, not everybody can afford to go to a restaurant and sit and spend an hour to get the waiter to serve you or what have you. And it's a lot more expensive as well once you go into that kind of a setting.
Absolutely.
And people, I believe, have become much more aware of healthier eating, taking care of themselves. So this sector has really become, to me, an amazing sector in the restaurant industry.
Absolutely. It's great. I love the background. Love kind of finding out how businesses got started and really getting that story, behind them. And anybody who's been here can attest. And if you look at your Yelp reviews and the Google reviews, you can see that for a very long time now, and ongoing, of course, that the commitment to that success, to that mission and that vision that you've kind of had has always been there, and it continues to stay there. It's great to see that, and people feel that. People feel that when they come in. Absolutely.
That's important to us. Even as we grow, we want
Sure.
to retain what La Rosa really started as, and it will continue to have that moving forward. No
Sure.
matter how large we become, we really want to retain
Absolutely.
that old world, modern day eatery, the old world traditional way of doing things,
Sure.
which means, starting from scratch and giving something that's wholesome and healthy.
Perfect. Can't beat that. Can't beat that at all. So you're your own boss. You always have been. You're an entrepreneur. But one of the things about franchising, what you're doing is you're giving an opportunity for others to now do that as well, of course. So, what are the key components to it?
Well, having your own business obviously gives you financial independence eventually when you set up and have that. You also have a lot of gratification having your own business. So there's a lot of pluses to having your own business. And another thing that makes having your own business unique is being able to take it as far as you want to go. Whether you want to, multiply that and there's no limits basically. The sky's the limit, and there's not many things you can do that in. So having that freedom, people will tell you that when you have your business, it's not easy. It comes with a lot of responsibility, and it takes time to establish and get there. But eventually, the rewards are so surplus that all the sacrifices you made to build that business, you find it was well worth it in the long run. And something we can offer, obviously, having the experience and somebody buying into a franchise, we kind of want to move them over that tier where when you start your own business, the whole purpose of franchises, we've done the trial and error, we've processed it, and hopefully the people that invest with La Rosa will be steps ahead and not starting from that ground up kind of foundation. And thank God we created a really nice foundation for people to really move forward and take that concept and be an owner, have their own business, and be successful.
Perfect. The system, the support is so important. I'm glad you touched on that, because being able to kind of expedite that and get yourself into a position of success a lot quicker when you go into a franchise, especially a proven franchise, versus starting your own is of tremendous value. So some of the when I do these interviews and we do some of the spotlights, I really love to get a little bit deeper into kind of the past, and some of the best parts of these are the stories, the stuff that probably nobody else knows about or nobody else has seen, and the stuff that kind of ingrained how you really became a true entrepreneur and business owner. So tell us any good wins, any good stories from kind of the past and that really got you going.
Well, some of the stories shouldn't be told again, but even in your trifles and your struggles, you look back and you say that's what made you what you are today. So whether it be going back from the very beginning, before the first tile was laid in this restaurant, obviously was the recipes. So at one point, at the time I was working in a restaurant, a family member's restaurant, I had little buckets of chicken marinated all throughout the walk-in cooler. And every day we were eating chicken. We were eating chicken for a month straight, all the employees, close friends, because those were the ones I wanted the opinion from, until I got the contents perfect. So stories like that seem like they happened yesterday, but it was more than 25 years ago. And just starting up here. And when I started 24 years ago, I was the only guy in the kitchen because I was creating a whole new recipe. And how do you teach somebody if you don't know what you're doing yourself? And everything was made from scratch. So all these memories come back, and you sit back and you look at them, and you see what you accomplished, and you're grateful that you had God's blessing and were able to accomplish it. And at the time, you're in crisis mode. I was here at 6 o'clock in the morning and leaving at 2 a.m. in the morning. For the first 3 months I was open. Now when I look back at it, it just was the cost. It was what you need to do to make your business successful. And I'm grateful that soonly thereafter, after 3-4 months, I got a kitchen staff and they were able to follow my protocol. And I had normal business hours, which were from 9:30 till 10 o'clock at night. And I was happy with that at the time. And everything was good. So when there's stories, there's endless amount of stories. But I tend to remember the ones in the beginning stages the most, because it's what made the core foundation of this company.
Those are great. Those are great. I love those stories. And talking about the marinating and getting that going. I mean, that's how a brand really can start. That's the only way. Being able to perfect it, really know what you're doing and why you're doing it, is fantastic.
Well, one thing we do at La Rosa, I didn't mean to cut you off, Ian, is that everything we make is made here in the company. So you only find the flavor here. Right. It's so easy to go out and buy a marinade or buy a potato. And I felt, why come to La Rosa then? Right. So the reason why La Rosa has its brand, it's not just a name, it's also the product that backs the name. Sure. And you'll only find that flavor. Yeah, you can find mashed potato anywhere, but the way we make it is the way we make it. Right. It's the same thing, if you go to any chain that's been successful, they have a certain flavor, they have a certain thing that only you find there, and you tend to crave from time to time. So that's what I wanted to create back then. I wanted that unique flavor. I wanted to make things from scratch, and that's what we still are today, thank God.
Perfect. It's not, you kind of touched upon this a little bit, but it's not always perfect, right? There's always challenges.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, what are some of the challenges that you had to overcome, and also, some of the ones that new franchisees may not have to because of.
Well, there's always room for improvement. That's my philosophy. And changing trends and you have to follow them, survival of the fittest. You're always looking to make things better. You're always looking to introduce new things that the trend is moving towards. That's the backbone of a successful business, especially a growing business that plans to grow and move forward. You have to adapt with the times. The great thing about this business is that where it started actually was not understood. In other words, it was before its time. And now that we're moving further into the future, it's fallen into place, everything that it represents. Right. And we're going to be I have other plans and projects to enhance that even more. So to follow the upcoming trends and where the market is going. So that's the great news. I can conform it. As the market conforms, I can conform. So that's wonderful. As far as things that people wouldn't have to go through trial and error, me being by myself in the kitchen from 6 a.m. in the morning to 2 a.m. in the morning. These are the kinds of things that now we have platformed, we have it structurized. I kind of took the restaurant out of the restaurant. We have certain things that we do that we prepare on a level where it comes in made fresh for you, so that you don't need to be making the stuff from scratch in each individual kitchen. Sure. We have it in a way where we're making it on a bulk scale, so that burden is taken off of the franchisee, so they are able to perform and focus more on the retail end, meaning the customer service, and making sure that procedures are followed properly, making sure the food is handled properly, and making sure that everything that is still done on premises, which is quite a bit because we do all the cooking, all the marinade, all on premises, all the vegetable cutting. There's still quite a bit that goes on premises, but the actual making of the food, we structurized a way for the company solely for La Rosa, where it's so proprietary to La Rosa, and it really takes off the burden of the kitchen work, a lot of the prepping work. So, and it's a nice blend. It's a blend where what they are doing, it's very manageable, and once again, they can focus on the service, managing their employees, managing their business, which is essential to a successful operation.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. Sorry, it's been a little bit hard to focus, seeing the chickens going into the rotisserie back here.
I'm sorry.
It's also looks so good. It's
the guys are coming in. We're starting up now. So.
It's perfect though, because you can see that. You can see, this is the real deal, and we'll get some more of that and some of the footage later. But that is
definitely once we're all set up, we'll do a quick view of this restaurant, see how we set up, and
absolutely,
they can get a really good idea.
It's so cool. It's so awesome to see. What I loved what you said there was, how you adapt as well, right? So when somebody's getting into a franchise and, they're looking to find the right, partner in that regard, making sure that there's a visionary who's going to not get complacent, continue to grow, continue to perfect and hone the concept. I love that you mentioned that, because you see that. You see that in what you've done so far. You see that in the concept. You see that in the menu, and the continuation of how this is being built. So that was a great point, and I'm glad you brought that up.
Thank you. Yes, we're always looking to enhance and follow the trends, and within our realm of what we do.
Right.
So definitely.
Good. So one last question, we'll kind of wrap it up here. This is about trying to get this out, get the understanding of the franchise, the growth of the franchise. For somebody who might be interested, in looking into this further, looking into potentially owning La Rosa Grill, what are the three primary reasons, or what are the three main things that they should know?
For one, if you are looking to get into the food sector, this is the QSR sector is the largest growing sector in the restaurant industry. Proven fact. It's something that's only going to get stronger with time. So you definitely would want to be in this sector. And that's the sector that La Rosa Chicken and Grill is in. Right. The second thing is that we provide a unique concept in the market. No one is really doing exactly what we're doing. Sure. So you're unique and you stand alone in that aspect. The third thing is that we've been proven. We've proven ourselves. 24 years in the making, our sales are only getting stronger. The business is getting stronger. The name recognition is the branding is getting stronger. This is the time to come in and join. This is the time to be part of something that's only going to get bigger and better.
Sure, absolutely. That's great. I'm getting hungry, that's for sure. So I think we're going to, wrap this up. But I wanted to make sure, whether it's, underneath this video, it's right on the screen to the right, somewhere on here, we'll have an opportunity to, you can click, go to larosagrill.com, larosagrillfranchise.com, and get more information on the brand, on the concept, and on the opportunity to even speak to Vincenzo or one of his franchise team members, get an understanding and set up a free consultation and look into potentially owning and what is involved with owning a La Rosa Grill restaurant, or even multiple La Rosa Grill restaurants. So with that, anything else you want to add, or anything else before we get eating here?
No, I thank for our viewers for watching. I hope that we gave them some information that is useful for them. And I'm looking forward to meeting them.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we'll be speaking soon.
Excellent. Great sitting with you today. Thank you very much.
Pleasure was mine, Ian. Thank you so much.
You got it.